Daenerys Targaryen. She says she is the mother of dragons. But would you trust her with your kids? Her father was a maniac. She palled around with Dothraki terrorists. She asked the city of Karth for a government bailout. Then she lost 3 baby dragons after placing them in an unlocked wooden box. An unlocked wooden box. This Khaleesi wants to be queen of the 7 kingdoms, but can she be trusted? Daenerys Targaryen. Wrong for dragons. Wrong for the realm. Paid for by the Committee to Protect Dragons.
We don't know anything about him.
He was never really vetted.
Is he really the true-born son of Robert Baratheon?
All over the 7 kingdoms, people are asking the same question. Who is the real King Joffrey? The people of Westeros are hurting. Winter is coming. Crop yields are falling, and the price of fuel is going up.
The cost of peat moss is through the thatched roof.
And this young and inexperienced king takes advice from a whoremongering imp and has launched an illegal war in the north. What is King Joffrey hiding? This is not our kind of family values. King Joffrey. What a bastard.
What a bastard.
Paid for by the young Baratheons for freedom. Robb Stark. He's the biggest celebrity in the North. But his father was a traitor. He arrested his own mother. His bastard brother deserted the Night's Watch. And he couldn't defend his own castle. Worst of all, Robb Stark hasn't stopped the wildlings from invading our lands and taking our jobs. He even has an illegal alien for a nanny. And now he wants to be king in the North? King? Some people say he's really a wolf. Some people say he eats dead people. We can't wait until it's too late. Send a raven to Winterfell now and tell Robb Stark to go back home. Stop eating dead people and defend the damn wall. This ad paid for by Crossbows GPS.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
When you can't find anything to watch on cable, you get bored. When you get bored, you listen to radio cooking shows. When you listen to radio cooking shows, you invite a friend over for dinner. When you invite a friend over for dinner, you use twice as many beans. When you use twice as many beans, you expel deadly farts that kill your friend's dog. When you kill your friend's dog, your friend becomes unstable. When your friend becomes unstable, you're sued for everything you're worth. When you're sued for everything you're worth, you're thrown to the streets. When you're thrown to the streets, you devote your life to world domination. When you devote your life to world domination, you become an evil fascist overlord. When you become an evil fascist overlord, old friends plot their revenge. When old friends plot their revenge, you are shot in the back of the head. And when you're shot in the back of the head, you miss your jazzercise appointment. Don't miss your jazzercise appointment. Upgrade to Indirect TV. Go online or call 1-800-DIRECT-TV.
Millions of Americans every day are shedding unwanted pounds by taking tested and proven Ultra Lipo Stick. Carbohydrates are bad. Our carbo-fighting antioxidant is good. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
My name is Gail, and I lost like 20 pounds on Ultra Lipo Stick.
My name is Jared, and I lost 46 pounds using Ultra Lipo Stick.
My name is Zach, and I actually gained weight. This stuff sucks!
Ultra Lipo Stick is safe and easy to inject. Just 3 doses 4 times a day discreetly underneath your fingernail. Listen to this.
I used Ultra Lipo Stick and suffered from side effects like uncontrollable greasy discharge.
Ultra Lipo Stick, it turned the armpits of all of my shirts orange. This stuff is crap.
Try it today and see some real results. Ultra Lipo Stick. Not available in stores. Results may vary.
Most politically incorrect black man on the planet, Rod Eccles.
Well, hello, my fellow Americans. It is I, your lovable host, El Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere in the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And I know this because I check daily as I check today. And speaking of today, it is April the 30th of in the year of our Lord 2015, which means it's the last day of April of the early spring time, or the early spring month. And now tomorrow we begin the mid or late spring month, if you will, the mid-spring month of May, May days, as it were. That's why we're here, to get to spring, correct? It was another beautiful day here in my neck of the woods here in northern New England, and I got to tell you, it was lovely outside. Not too cool, not too warm, perfect. But the only thing, it wasn't perfect because the sun wasn't shining all that much. Today was a very cloudy day. We've had a few days of nothing but clouds. And it's not that I'm not used to such things, because let me give you an example. I'm used to having cloudy days. Clouds, for the most part, cloudy days really do not bother me. And why is that? Because I hail from a little tiny burg called Syracuse, New York, one of the cloudiest cities in the country. And when we first moved to New Hampshire, we moved, it was March. I think it was March 7th that we actually moved. But, we moved and we were coming out of winter pretty much in Syracuse. Still had snow on the ground there. And we moved to New Hampshire. And there was no snow on the ground at the time, the day that we moved in. And after we moved in, we had 7 days straight of sunshine. Got to tell you, we loved it. We were, it was kind of like New Hampshire welcoming me to the state and saying, welcome, here is the sun for you. And, needless to say, I have not turned away from this state ever since then. It's a fantastic state. And I highly recommend it for people. Although, as I tell people, come for a visit, then go home. Don't move here. Don't ruin it for those of us who like our freedom and our liberty. Don't ruin it for those who like, smaller, more responsive government. If you come from a large state or a big government state, sure, come to New Hampshire, visit, experience for a short period of time of what it's like to live with a low burden state government, and then go back home to your big overburdening state government and leave the rest of us who like, small state government, leave us alone. Don't come here to try to change us. Yes, it is fair for us to have small government while you have big government, because that's obviously what you want. And you're very welcome to having your big state government. I just don't want it. And there are a lot of people here that don't want it. We want to live in a state with small, more responsive and more responsible state government. And speaking of government, I know we're smack dab in the middle of Game of Thrones. Yeah. I'm one of those people that's hooked on Game of Thrones for a number of different reasons. One, it's an intriguing story. I mean, the plot twists keep you coming back for more. It's absolutely incredible how one man is able to keep track of all these different plot twists and characters. We're not talking, a couple, 3, 5 major characters. We're talking, a plethora of major characters. And some of those major characters even get killed. Yes, I said killed. They get killed dead. And it's just, even watching it sometimes it's hard to keep track of who the characters are. It took me probably 2 seasons just to figure out what name went to what character, major character. I mean, that's how complex this thing is. And it's magnificent. And it has, as I said, tons and tons of plot twists. It has things that you just don't expect. Well, of course, if you don't read the book, if you've read the books up until this point, then you probably understand some of the plot twists and you're not surprised by this stuff. However, that is changing. In a new twist, Game of Thrones. And here's an article from the Christian Science Monitor. It's making the Christian Science Monitor. This is how popular Game of Thrones is. Now, I do believe Game of Thrones, as far as the type of programming that it is number 2 right behind The Walking Dead. Only The Walking Dead is bigger. And the number of people... Look, HBO knows it has a mega hit on its hands. And you can't get replays anywhere else but on HBO. And it's, I don't think you're ever going to get replays anywhere except for HBO because it's such a huge hit. And people are jumping onto this new service called HBO Now, which doesn't require you to have a cable TV or HBO subscription. You can subscribe to it separately. It is rather expensive. I mean, it's more pricey than Netflix. But then again, depending on the type of movie, you're going to get movies over on HBO and programming on HBO that you're not getting on Netflix. I don't have a problem with that. I subscribe to Netflix, and I subscribe to HBO Now. And I don't have HBO on cable. And I have Hulu. Why do I even need cable now? I mean, some of the programs that I like to watch on cable, like Criminal Minds. Look, they've got like 9 seasons worth on Netflix. I don't need cable TV to watch Criminal Minds. And that goes for a lot of different TV shows. They're on Netflix and Hulu. I don't need cable. Look, there was an article yesterday, I do believe, and I wasn't even going to bring it up because everybody knows this, but the death of cable as we know it. Look, even Fios is now allowing you to sort of do an a la carte system. You can, and they're still way overpriced with this.